Welcome down the line. I'm your host, as always, Juan Roque, with my partner in crime, the Rhino Ryan Knowles. It's always great to be with you, brother. Of course, we are the only show that is based on social media. Social media is where we're at. We're the pioneers of it. And we are being brought to you by the Viral Marketplace and taping always from the Gangplank right here in Chandler, Arizona. Chandler's been redone right now. This whole area that the Gangplank is in has just completely been rebuilt. Wonder where the heck they got the money for that.
We're in mid-November. There's already Christmas stuff out.
Yeah, it's typical Chandler. They want to start celebrating. They haven't even cooked the darn turkey yet and had the cranberry sauce, but they're ready to celebrate Christmas with Santa Claus.
Oh, man.
I don't understand why they do this. They do this in Michigan.
Times.
They do this all over the country.
It starts earlier and earlier every year, doesn't it?
There was stuff out in September. And I'm like, dude, I don't need that added pressure right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, let's just get to the football season. Let's talk about that right now.
There we go, yes.
ASU, now we're entering week 11.
Yep.
Played 10 football games.
Yep.
500 record. I mean, what do you think?
Well, I mean, I've said it a couple times now. I think the honeymoon's over. I mean, this season has kind of played out the way the way ASU's games have played the past couple weeks. They start fast. They look like they're gonna, do something, maybe special, and then they kind of come back down to earth pretty quick. I mean, this is it's a young team for the most part. I mean, they are senior led. There are some quality seniors on this team. Guys like Keelan Johnson, Brandon McGee, Cameron Marshall, Will Sutton, but. A majority, he might be. Yeah, he might be. Yeah, I think he might have one more year eligibility. Jay-Z was asking me about that this weekend. I really wasn't sure, but yeah, I mean, they're senior led for the most part, upperclassmen, but they have so many underclassmen that are inexperienced at this level. Still trying to acclimate to the new system. Todd Graham does not have all of his personnel here, and I think the offense has really gotten exposed the last three of the last 4 weeks anyway. The offense played pretty well against UCLA, matching them stride for the most part, but still some mistakes right now. Too many mistakes.
The end of the first half, that big interception that led to a missed 2-point conversion, and then the missed field goal.
But too many mistakes in the last couple of games have really hurt them, especially on offense.
Red zone's been killing us.
Not having playmakers on the outside has been a big issue. I didn't think it was that big of a problem at the beginning of the year. They were getting the tight end more involved. They didn't, and the running backs were acting as good receivers, good outlets for Taylor Kelly. So it wasn't that big of a problem.
Does that make them too basic? Because I haven't seen the same things, and now
teams are not having to.
They're adjusting.
Yeah, teams are. Yeah, exactly.
Once they get Coyle out of there, they're focusing on DJ. They're focusing on Marion Grice. ASU can't throw the football. Now Taylor Kelly's getting sacked 7 times a game.
Exactly. That forces guys like Rashad Ross and Kevin Ozier, who have proven their mettle when they've gotten the ball, but they still got to get open, and they haven't shown that ability thus far, and it's hurt them at times. I mean, Taylor Kelly's running for his life half the time because nobody's getting open, and it's hurt them the last couple of weeks as the talent on their schedule has started to go up to the next level,
right. and
they haven't really been able to keep up.
One recurring theme that I've seen during this slide, I guess because there's no other way to put it, is offensive line blocking has just been atrocious.
Yes.
Below standard.
You and Kyle Caldwell were talking about that on Saturday.
I'm just completely just at a loss with what I see. And a lot of it isn't really talent. That's a lack of talent. It's just mental breakdowns, communication. And I understand it's a new system. I understand they got new coaches. Connolly's there coaching the O-line. Coach Graham's new Norvell system. I get it. But, you're 10 weeks into a season. A lot of this stuff should start to click. When your quarterback gets, and we're going to get to this in a second, when your quarterback takes you to the 6 flipping yard line, you don't give up a sack for a loss of 10 yards the next play.
Can't do that.
It's just inexcusable. He had 3 Trojans on him.
Yeah.
That right there is communication. That right there is lack of execution.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I watch this team and it looks like they've never seen a blitz before.
Thank you.
I mean, they have such a
hard... Do they not watch film?
They have such a hard time picking up the blitz sometimes.
Defensive coordinators are not that spontaneous that they're going to come up with brand new blitz packages every week. They don't have the time to do that. They have their core of what they do, and they show it on film, and sometimes, yes, they're able to hide it and change it up, but it comes down to communication.
A lot of times it does take a coach 3 years. That's how long you're really supposed to have in order to be able to get them, have them get all their personnel. And hopefully, with the way that Todd Graham has been recruiting, he'll be able to do that.
I think Mike Leach is going to get 3 years.
Not at this point.
We're going to talk about him in a minute.
Not at this point. We're going to talk about him.
We're going to get to him in the Pirate.
We're going to get to him in the next couple of segments. But I give Todd Graham a little bit of time. I mean, social media has been blowing up about people who are frustrated with this team, frustrated with Todd Graham. They're going up against some of the class of talent in this country. And, you know, I mean, the Pac-12 has, I think, you know, some teams like Oregon State and UCLA have kind of surprised this year. But
UCLA especially, I didn't see them coming at all.
they had a lot of talent, definitely. But
that Nebraska win was kind of a precursor to what they were going to do. They
a
may
little
even beat USC this week.
It's very possible. But, you know, I mean, this is a time for ASU to really kind of take a step back and just see, you know, where we can improve going into next season. I mean, I think that they definitely want to get this week's game. You absolutely have to win down in Tucson.
Absolutely.
I think that really puts an exclamation point.
That will forgive a lot of trespasses.
And will give them a lot of momentum going into next year.
Absolutely. Get a good bowl game, decent bowl, and I mean, we may even be able to make the bowl game. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, they win next week. They're bowl eligible. I think that, you know, with the strength of schedule,
Las Vegas again,
with the strength of schedule, a lot of people, you know, they could make the, you know, Armed Forces or New Mexico.
Well, if they go 7-5, I mean, they're 5-4 in the conference. So that would put them in a top 5 finish.
Hopefully, yeah. I mean,
so
we'll see how the
rest
of the conference shakes out, and
it's been a good,
especially a lot of things could get taken out of whack if Oregon does make that BCS championship game, which they're slated to do as of now.
Right, and that's going to be a great game. If Kansas State wins out, I think Oregon wins that game all day long and 10 times on Sunday.
Probably, yeah. Kansas State does not have the defense.
So winding this down right now as we finish this intro for this week, what's your grade for Todd Graham so far and why?
I would give him a solid B. I think that he's still learning. I mean, he's only spent 1 year coaching at the BCS level.
He hasn't even been here for a year.
I mean, and we can call, and the debate could be made about whether or not the Big East is really big BCS.
There's a funny story about that. They've actually been downgraded by the new 6 bowl playoff. They've been taken out of it's 5 major conferences.
Exactly.
The Big East is not one.
I mean, everybody's talking about, you know, they should have hired Kevin Sumlin. They should have done this and that.
Sumlin was going to A&M.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, ASU offered Kevin Sumlin. He chose A&M. There's nothing you can do about that.
A&M just beat Alabama. Get over it.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean...
You called that coach, though. You said he was going to be a great coach at A&M.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean,
you did call it. Rhino called it first.
So this is something it's a process. It's a process. I mean, he still has to get his personnel here. I mean, I would like to see, you know, some more horses along the offensive line to make this unit a little bit better, especially if he wants to run the ball as much as he says he does. They need to upgrade at that position and hopefully get some more athletes on the outside.
Jamil Douglas, of course, will be a year better. May even move to tackle next season. Then the Goodman brothers will finally be.
Cody Kabensky will be a year
brothers,
better.
Molatu will be a year older.
Yep.
So they're going to have some guys coming in that
I'd like to see Molatu at guard. I'd like to see him line up at guard. That would be nice. So, I mean, they got some. They would be nice to see them, you know, kind of get a little bit better at that position, kind of upgrade some of the positions
for sure.
But yeah, they definitely need to get
a couple big nasty JUCO guys to come in.
They need to get some athletes.
You know what they need to do? They need to go on and find the next flipping Walter Jones. Remember that guy? Played 2 years JUCO, 1 year at Florida State, was a top 7 draft pick.
Oh yeah.
They need to find a guy like that. You know, that will stay 2 years. My grade for Todd Graham, I would give him a B-.
Okay.
And the reason I say B-
you're always a tougher grader than me. So
well, and the things that I don't like are the performance things, are the mental breakdowns that happen. Yes, the discipline has been a lot better. Coach, God bless you.
Yeah,
you took the penalties. You took a group of kids that were penalized at least 5 times a year, and they're penalized maybe once or twice, if that. And usually the penalties are not flagrant personal fouls, things like that.
They still cost you first downs like that. But running into the kicker.
It's been really the performance level of it is getting your team mentally prepared, having them ready to play 60 full minutes, and being able to make adjustments at halftime that are going to throw the defense off or throw the offense off. That's really what I just haven't been seeing. And now, granted, I get some of his personnel. I get it. He doesn't have the talent to do a lot of things I'm sure they want to do with that high-octane offense.
Right.
We talked about the lack of receivers, lack of speed. I'm sure a lot of people were questioning Norvell's play calling, whether or not he was suspect. And, you know, looking at it from a different angle, it's really lack of personnel.
We'll get into that in the recap a little bit.
So we'll recap
the USC game specifically. But
so I would say B-. That's going to do it for this.
It's a learning curve for everybody. I mean, the coaches are still learning. They're still learning how to. I mean, a lot of them have not coached at this level just yet. They're still learning, you know, to get how to make adjustments like this. But it's going to process. They're going to get better. I foresee good things in the future for everybody.
Absolutely, definitely got the right guy. We're not going to doubt that. And I'm not down on Coach Graham in any way. We got to get better. That's pretty much it.
Very true.
All right, that's going to do it for this part of our show. When we get back, let's recap that USC game and talk about what happened.